Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and perhaps the realization that he has about as much chance of winning the Republican presidential nomination as I have is starting to dawn on Christie. Before we get started, I want to ask you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. So he was on a show today giving an interview, and he was asked point blank, is it time for you to step out of this race? You're polling abysmally. You, somewhere in your mind, I guess, believe you can win in New Hampshire. And I don't know why that is, because I don't think you could win in New Jersey. In fact, I think the polls show you couldn't win in New Jersey, and you're from New Jersey. So, he's on there, and he's finally asked point blank, are you going to get out of this race? And he gives his answer. And I want you to listen to his answer very carefully, because it's the answer, I think, of somebody who is in this race just to attack former President Donald Trump. I think that's his whole purpose. That and maybe getting a gig at one of the networks like CNN or MSNBC when this is all done. And he's using donor money to do it. So find that kind of interesting and curious. I want your opinion on what he says here. So please leave it in the comments. Also, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. I'm Carmine Sabia for Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody. And now let's watch Christie.
Jonathan Lemire's got a question for you, Governor. John?
Governor Christie, good to see you. I just want to follow up on something you just said a moment ago. Certainly you're resisting calls to drop out pre-New Hampshire. You've made that case very clear. But you just said that you plan to stay in, through potentially the Trump legal process, which we don't know when it could occur, but it certainly wouldn't be before March, April, and beyond. So do you see yourself riding this all the way to the convention, even if, you have struggled to attract delegates at that point?
Well, look, John, I think we're going to make that evaluation as we go along. But at some point, as this stuff starts to fall apart, the Republican voters are going to need an alternative who has made it very clear that they're against Donald Trump and that they predicted this was going to happen all along. And I've been saying it ever since I got into the race, unlike anybody else in the race. And so, this is never going to be easy. When I got into the race, I said everybody is an underdog. And that's why this kind of sophistry about who should get out of the race is kind of ridiculous. I mean, in the end, everyone is a long shot in this race, but Donald Trump on the Republican side, if you believe the polling. And so the question is, who's standing on principle? Who's going to do what's right for the party? I view this as a fight for not only the soul of my party, but for the soul of our country. And who are we going to be? What kind of government do we want? And so why should that fight be determined by polls? I'd rather have people vote. And look, I've won and I've lost. Winning's better. But, I know when I'm losing. And if I lose, then I'm going to have to reevaluate, all of this. But I haven't lost anything yet. And fact is, I've qualified for every debate that was a national debate. I've qualified for both of the New Hampshire debates that'll be coming up in the week between Iowa and New Hampshire. I've met every mark that you needed to make that have been artificially set either by the RNC or by some of the networks. And the only place where I didn't meet it was in a place like Iowa, where I haven't campaigned, won one TV commercial, or even shown up. I have not been on terra firma in Iowa, in the year 2023 or 2024, and I don't expect I will be. So every place where I've campaigned and worked, we've been able to qualify for debates, and I think we've made a difference in those debates, and we're going to continue to work hard.
They'll be voting in 3 weeks in New Hampshire. So
yes, sir, 20 days, baby.
We will know a lot more then. Republican presidential candidate, former governor of New Jersey, Christie. Governor, great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Willie, thank you. Michael, thank you. Only about 50 days, Mike.
I know, pitchers and catches.
Here we go, baby. Let's go.
That's our holiday. All right, coming up.